Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today it's with great pride that I'm unboxing McIntosh's brand new 300 watt power amplifier, the MC312. This amazing power amplifier with all of the authority as you would expect from any large solid state amp, and all of the subtleties and detail that McIntosh deliver is, in its price point, the best available. So, let's have a look. Firstly, look at the size of its box. Inside this is a powerhouse. It is heavy. I will need some help with this one today because it's too heavy to lift by myself. It is strapped together with steel to ensure that the packaging and everything like that can be held together in the extremes associated with the weight. It's double boxed, so we'll get to see all that. So, without moving this around too much, it's too heavy. Front we have got model and serial number information. It's emulated on the other corner. Maybe I'll show you on the empty box. It's back here and it's back here as well, but to be honestly this is so heavy I'm not going to spin it around. Now, removing these steel straps. It's relatively straightforward. Any good pair of cutters will get you through them, and then it's a matter of sort of idly throwing them away. So the banding, one of the things you should be sort of careful with is the steel banding obviously has a joint like this. If you are pulling the bands off like I am, grab the one that's got the joint and pull it, and it will slide easily. If you pull the other end, it will snag on the carpet and may ruin things. Okay. Now lifting these square boxes off is often difficult. Get a hand. Now, just the lid. And I think you may as well take that with you. Now what we've got is McIntosh's almost signature packaging associated with how good this product is from a packaging perspective. Every element is designed to protect this product as best as it possibly can in transit. Firstly, you'll see a combination of black foam and white closed cell foam. The white stuff is actually at the front and back because there's, we don't want the precious ends damaged. So there's two pieces of that. On the top we've got, look at how thick that is. Beautiful closed cell foam. And then we have each side panel as well. Now folding that forward you'll see that it's sitting on a massive section of foam. And if I just roll this off for a moment and get rid of that. What I'm going to do is continue that. Slide this off for 1 minute and get rid of this box. The packaging itself is extremely elaborate, and it's wonderful to see they make such an effort with the packaging to ensure that it gets to you in one piece. Now, the inner box has no markings on it whatsoever, and sliding that lid off is really, really straightforward at this point. In the box, the top of it is McIntosh's user manual. This is extremely comprehensive. It talks about how you make connections, how you change settings if required, the 12 volt triggers, all of those things. It's hugely comprehensive. There is a large piece of additional closed cell foam. There is a large, long and good quality New Zealand IEC power cord. In the back there's one of the toggles associated with the tightening of the binding post on the back. And as I move this forward you'll see it's sitting on a shipping piece of ply. This ensures, it's bolted into it, it ensures that the product is cannot shimmy around and sits perfectly inside all of its packaging. Now, I might get a hand again. What we'll do is just lift that and off to my left. This one. This one. And if you could take that box with you. From this point, rolling it over is the most appropriate as far as getting it off the shipping board. Very carefully, and bringing it back in the camera, it's bolted into this, and we get a collection of these nuts and bolt removers. Let's have a look. What have we got? There we go. You can use a spanner or a drill or whatever you might need. So there's 4 large washers and 4 bolts, and then the ply gets removed. Worth mentioning as we pause that this has a beautiful section that lines up with the front panel, and the feet sit in there lovely as well. From there, rocking it forward is relatively straightforward, and nicking the plastic enables us to get into the bag. Removing it from the inner bag is relatively straightforward and gives us an opportunity to see this product for the first time. Inside the plastic bag is a desiccant moisture sucker, and it is inside a little cloth bag to ensure that there's no scratching. As we drag it around, we get an understanding for how beautiful this product is, and as we look for the first time, lift it up. Oh, it's so heavy. We lift it up to bring it into camera. So the first thing we see is McIntosh's large signature VU meters. They are illuminated from the rear, and each is associated with the left and right output channels. The amplifier clips at 600 watts, twice its rated wattage, which is why the VU meters themselves go to 600. In between we have power guard. Now this is actually a clipping light, or to indicate that we have issues with the connected speakers. Beneath it we have a switch. Now that allows us to control, in this one, the lights, whether they be off, follow the watts, which allows this VU to beat with the current required, or hold, which slows down that beating and allows you to indicate or imply the maximum wattage that is applied. Centrally we have a red power light that illuminates, and please hang around for some photographs and I'll show you these close up. McIntosh's logo, which is illuminated from the rear, and the power. Now this power actually has 2 settings. One is remote, and that is for when a 12 volt trigger is utilised to turn this on and off, and then the ability to power it on or off depending on what is required. Carefully as we rock this unit forward, you will see a couple of things. Firstly, the front panel is completely isolated from the main electrical components. The first and most obvious is the large oversized power transformer, and then the Autoformer output transformer for each of the channels. Centrally there is a basic circuit topography and circuit design showing independence for each of the channels. McIntosh's now signature heatsinks, which include the McIntosh logo, have become again a signature of what we would expect from a new McIntosh amplifier. They're shared on both sides. Worth noting the addition of a little bit of a warning telling you, hey, these get a bit warm. As I spin this around, you get an implication of the width of the unit and the depth as far as the heat sinks. Looking at the back, and again, hang around for some photographs where I'll get some good close-ups, we have the basic inputs and outputs that you would expect. Firstly, we've got an IEC power socket. Above that, the main fuse, the ability to switch auto off. Now this is a power saving device, so you can enable or disable power saving. You've got the ability to select at the switch balanced or unbalanced, unbalanced being the RCA inputs. And then you've got power control and other configuration in, out. So if you've got one 12 volt relay input, you can parallel this off to another two devices. Above this we've got an interesting configuration. What we've got is at the top, two balanced inputs and two single-ended inputs in pairs. Now, although that's not unusual, what we've got is balanced out as well. This gives you the ability to parallel the input off to a second amplifier, or, should you choose, you could take the input and the output and utilize this amplifier as essentially a bi-amped mono amplifier for very large speakers or loads. That's quite unique in any amplifier, and it's lovely to see it at this quality level. Okay, spinning it around, again we'll see McIntosh's kind of dual chassis approach, and a beautiful front. So there we have it, McIntosh's MC312 300 watt solid state power amplifier, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.